Hi, my name is Audrey June, and I'm here at Spirit Mountain, which I kind of haphazardly found, which is pretty amazing. I did a really wonderful collective group ritual earlier today, and so I wanted to share some wisdom from Spirit Mountain on the first day of my cycle. And I don't have any particular questions per se. Maybe just how can we tap into our authentic voice and move past the fears that we have because of real authentic experiences that we've been going through, and just what people say and all that, and just deprogramming our own minds. How can we connect and speak out? What do we need to speak from our authentic self as a collective? Okay. I got comfrey. So, first thing I notice is that there is a quartz crystal, and it says completion 32. 3 plus 2 is 5. And we see also the symbol up here, the little goat fish, the directions, the medicine wheel, and of course, Comfrey herself. Completion. So, maybe it's just a matter of tapping into our own completion so that we can speak authentically. But let's see what the book has to say. So, achievement, completion of cycle, success, closure, completion of long journey, wholeness, mending, astrological ruler, Saturn. Comfrey, also known as boneset or night bone, has been cultivated for its healing properties since 400 BCE. It was used by the ancient Greeks, Romans, Celts, and many more to heal broken bones, bind wounds, and stop heavy bleedings. Symphatum comes from the Greek words sympho, meaning to grow together, and phyton, meaning plant. Comfrey comes from the Latin confirmare, which is also means to grow together. To grow together, to become complete, to bring all our pieces together, and to realize that we are simultaneously each other in the universe and everything, but having individual experiences. Farmers value comfrey. It was grown as a food for people and livestock and produced valuable fertilizer for the garden. The plant was also used as a food during the Irish potato famine in the 1840s, though it's recommended to not eat too much of it because of its impact on the liver. Ruled by Saturn, comfrey promotes the healing of the skin and musculoskeletal system. The roots and leaves stimulate cell proliferation and promote bone and wound healing. Saturnian herbs are those that rule with the knowledge of karma, shielding, protection, endurance, space, and time. Saturn grants wisdom through challenges. Like Saturn, comfrey grounds us and teaches the lessons within karmic inheritance, supporting us as we endure through hardships. Guidance. Comfrey represents wholeness, completion, and closure of a great cycle. The wreath symbolizes a cycle containing the energy of the past, present, and future, hovering over the clouds to note how the foundation of all cycles are grounded in mystery. Comfrey majestically grows in the center, representing the axis mundi, the sacred heart, the sacred will that pulses through the great mystery. Comfrey has appeared today to signal that a great cycle is nearing completion. Stay aligned as you continue to prune and heal the garden of the self. Look closely into repeated patterns, persons, or situations that keep showing up in your life. Draw upon comfrey's power to mend and find wholeness in lessons and patterns that need closure. So, just reading what Comfrey says is kind of interesting because it connects both with kind of what we did today in our ritual, and what I've been doing on a greater level in my personal life for, like, well, really forever, but particularly I've been trying to focus in on it for the last 3 years since I left New Orleans. So that, in conjunction with the whole idea of speaking authentically and then it being completion, it's almost like the act of speaking. A lot of the time people speak without really thinking about it, or they respond, well, they don't respond, they react instead of respond, right? And so they don't really have the time and space to process through everything. And when you think about Saturn, like Saturn, Saturn return, it's like this long process of coming back into the sun, or back into the return of Capricorn, of Saturn. And so it's all kind of, it's funny because I'm like jumbling my words and it's all about how to speak authentically. But maybe it's just a matter of understanding that, like, sometimes our process of completion is continually a process, and we have to go back and remember to reassemble, to move forward. Maybe there's more to it. Let me see if anything else comes up. Sometimes I get kind of nervous doing things like this in a public place, because that actually connects to, because it's like this whole idea of like jumbling things up when you're being watched, and we're not really ever being watched, but like when other people are around, like, I know for me, I like, oh my goodness. Okay, well, apparently this needed to come out. I've never seen this one before. It's Bob and Son 8 Trust. So it's a really beautiful card. I don't know if you can see it. I'll fix it for you. So let's see. Oh my goodness. It's giving me lots of Lemurian grandmother energy vibes. I'm seeing the hummingbird. I'm seeing the whale flying up into the nether, like the subconscious. This definitely feels like a Neptunian flower, and it's interesting because it's very similar to what a lot of the flowers I'm seeing right now, like in this area, look like, even though I know it's not the same thing. So this is connecting back to our authentic truth, and like speaking or just being like authentic in our life in all the ways that we can do that. Trust, huh? That came up today too, because it's all about trust. Just trusting that there is no right or wrong. There's no one way to do it. There's no, I mean, yeah, our path is our path, and it's going to come out of whatever we experience. Caliandra, it's hard to say. Caliandra angustifolia. Self-love, heart retrieval, ultimate state of receiving, gratitude, receptivity, compassion. Astrological rulers, the moon and Neptune. In the Shipibo tradition, Babin Sanya is a highly respected master teacher that contains a plethora of medicinal benefits for the body, mind, and spirit. Native to the Amazon basin, many call the herb Sirenita, or mermaid. Oh, that makes sense in this drawing, and it also makes sense with the whole Lemurian vibes. And that's also interesting because the comfrey kind of, well, they have similar colors, but also like that crystal reminds me of Lemurian crystal. Anyway, beautiful paintings found in the Amazon. Oh, hi, friend. Among shamans depict her as a goddess, a deeply creative feminine spirit who has masterful healing abilities. Serenita de los Rios assists us in healing wounds of the heart, past relationships, grief, loss, sadness, abuse, and melancholy. Okay, so I see how this connects. So in order for us to come into this process of completion, in order to speak what we actually know, right? This is like what we're always doing. Oh my God, baby girl, where are you? In order for us to get into that feeling of fullness and completion, we have to first go back in time and destroy the programming and come into that place of being centered in the heart. We need Yamaya. Sayonara. Anyway, Babensana is often prescribed by a curandero or healer to heal wounds from childhood for soul retrieval, or to heal a stunted soul, which is the susto, that left fragments of itself in a painful past. Wow, this is literally breaking patterns in bondage. Whether used as a single plant during specific shamanic cleanses, dietas, for purification and spiritual awakening, or brewed as a tea, Babensana assists us in deeply amplifying heart energy to experience the transcendent power of love, empathy, compassion, oneness, and freedom from pain. Babensana also grants the powers of expansive intuition and lucid dreaming. Many users, when ingesting Babensana through dietas or alongside other ceremonial brews, experience time differently, as if the barriers between waking life and dreaming get washed away. It is said that these transcendent experiences of love beyond space and time are what allows for miraculous heart healing. So the guidance. Babensana's bright and pink flowers bathe the energy body with the softness of light, awakening the inner pathways to unconditional self-love. It literally is that mantra of Om Mani Padme Hum. It's all connected, man. Anyway, Babensana assists us in rediscovering forgotten places within ourselves, retrieving fragments of our hearts, seeking healing. Ask yourself, where in my heart's memory can I bring wholeness to? Babensana medicine is like that of whales and hummingbirds. I literally saw 2 hummingbirds today, and I always see them. They are like the most magical creatures. The joyous record keepers of the sacred that assists us in accessing the reservoirs of the cosmic heart. Sirenetta is reminding you to pay close attention to the messages encoded in your dreams, synchronicities and symbols that surround you right now. Through those doorways, you can further explore the great mystery of your heart's desire. Okay, so I see why this one popped out and why this one was a little more hesitant. I do see these 2 things in conversation, but one must come before the other in a non-linear way, right? Because it's constantly a process. But I really see in this card, like, that reawakening and that remembering and that retelling and creating a new narrative. All of those things really exist within this card. And I think that makes a lot of sense when just sitting in this sacred space at a spirit mountain, like literally surrounded by these huge, amazing petroglyphs up here, and then these beautiful, gorgeous flowers down there. Yeah, I don't really have a lot more else to say about it. Maybe just feel into yourself, connect to your ancestors, look at these cards. I also find it really interesting that they are both purple, and purple to me is definitely associated with Oya, transformation, radical transformation, but literally just like that recreating, redefining, and I feel like in life we're always once you wake up, right, or like as they say, like it's one thing, some people were born awake, but like once you bring awareness to that part of yourself, like spirit and just the connections, and that this isn't just one way of looking at the world, that there's multi dimensions and like multiple just layers of self existing at the same moment in the same body, because we as the universe are doing that too. once you come into that, there, I feel like you're like in a constant state of transformation. Like it's like it's the awareness, and then it's the transformation, and then it's like comfrey. It's like this completion, but then it's like, oh my God, no, there's that other part that I have to go and find. And then you're back at transformation, and then you have to jump, and you have to trust, and you have to listen, and you have to realize that everything within and without, like that the inside is what creates the outside and all of that. So that's, yeah, I guess that's all of what I'm trying to say. It's kind of like this journey today. Like, I literally had looked up Spirit Mountain as a possibility of a place to camp. And then as I was leaving Las Vegas, I was like, I have to go to Laughlin. I like had to go this route, right? And then I saw the little sign for Christmas Tree Pass, and I was like, that looks interesting. And then lo and behold, here I am on Spirit Mountain, and I love it here, and I'm going to come back. Anyway, trust, right? That comes back to Baba and Sonia. It comes back to trust. Yeah, that was, yeah, just trust. All right. I love you.